right, Lagos. This is flight schedule. We'll begin with Arik Air. Arik Air will leave Lagos for Abuja today at 10:40 a.m. Another flight will take off at 2:30 p.m. Lagos Port Harcourt flight will take off at 4:10 p.m., while Lagos Warri flight will leave at 1 p.m. And over to Ibom Air, Lagos to Abuja flight will take off at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. later this afternoon. Another flight will leave at 5 p.m. in the evening, and the last flight from Lagos to Abuja will take off at 6:40 p.m. Lagos to Enugu flight leaves at 11:30 a.m. Lagos to York flight takes off at 11:30 and 3 p.m. later in the afternoon. Air Peace will leave Lagos for Abuja at 10:35 a.m. Another flight will take off at 2:05 p.m. and the last flight at 7 p.m. Lagos Benin flight will take off at 12:15 p.m. and 4:10 p.m. later this afternoon. And that was flight schedule for you. Thank you for listening.
You've just listened to Flight Schedule, brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
The bombs, curves, screeches, and tacos won't stop the flow on Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Moving Lagos forward.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Mike James, there's a lot happening on the Lagos Ibadan.
So much happening. Yes. Yeah, quite busy situation. And I understand it's due to an accident that occurred involving 3 trailers at Mountain of Fire.
Okay, so let's have a clearer picture of what all of this is with the Public Relations Officer for Trace. I'm talking about Commander Babatunde Akimbi. He's joining us on the phone line this morning. Commander Akimbi, nice to have you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Oteri. Quite some time now.
Yeah, it's been quite a while, really. But let's touch down on this accident. I understand it happened on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway.
Yes, certainly it did early this morning.
Where precisely?
Precisely in front of NIPCO Gas, opposite MFM Prayer City, outbound Lagos, along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That's when it happened this morning.
Okay.
Between 2 articulated vehicles. In fact, they are tankers. And we understand that they are also loaded, and also a Paragon bus. Some of these your yellow buses coming from Lagos. I think it's from Lagos down to Muweiba for access.
Okay.
You know, they also travel along that axis to drop passengers and all whatnot.
Right.
The guy in question, maybe I should put it this way: there has been an issue between them as they were traveling outbound Lagos. Somewhere along the line, and you know the articulated vehicle drivers, there seems to be a special species because of the way and manner they drive.
Right.
And if you have somebody also contesting the road with them, they try to put that person in his corner somehow.
Right.
So in an attempt to maneuver in between 2 articulated vehicles that were on transit,
right,
something happened towards the tail end, and he got himself entangled in them, just going underneath.
Wow. So the resultant effect of that was a crash, right?
Of course, is a crash is not an accident, because there's a difference between a crash and accident. A crash is a foreseen occurrence. It's caused by us, while an accident in traffic management is an unexpected occurrence or experience. So this one is a crash. As we speak presently, 7 people have been confirmed dead, because 11 passengers were inside the Paragon bus, the yellow bus, and 4 sustained injuries.
Right.
Okay. So as we speak now, there's a standstill. In fact, it's a gridlock situation along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, because from that axis down to the Long Bridge, there's traffic. I also understand that there are also another serious accident at Kara Bridge, You know, this morning too,
Wow.
traces the FRSC. Even last month, the police had to be calling to rescue and to normalize the situation.
Okay.
But as we speak now, those that are already in traffic, we are appealing to them so that they can exercise patience. While those about leaving Lagos, depending on the area of Lagos they are, they should go through Ikorodu Road, Epe, or the old Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, so that they will also not be stuck in traffic.
Right.
You understand? And that's why I'm using this platform, because I know you have this reach within the Lagos access.
Right.
They listen to you very well. So help us tell them, let them not come through the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Let them go through the Epe, Ikorodu, or the old Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, so that they can get to their destination.
All right.
You know, a lot of people are trapped already. Those coming to Abeokuta, Shagamu, Ibadan, Beniore, going through Ijebu-Ode and all whatnot.
Right.
So please, let's just seek and obey and also uphold that alternative routes via trace, traffic alert, and traffic advisory.
Okay, then it's nice. It's nice connecting with you. Thank you so much, Babatunde Akibi, for that information.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor Oteri.
Okay, then. So you heard it. Please, those of you on the road this morning, please, let's look for alternatives. Lagos Ibadan Expressway for now is a no-go area, okay? Because they have to attend to the accidented vehicles and try to see how they can bring sanity within that location. Those of you that are stopped there too, let's also let you know that we have emergency responders. They're all around, so they will give alternatives and they'll be able to help direct you to within those locations. So please, let's heed to the call and of course the instructions and directions of the traffic managers there. So we have Trace, we have FRSC, we have the fire service, and of course somehow the police too. They are also involved in all of this rescue. So alternatives, Ikorodu, you can make use of Ikorodu to connect to Shagamu.
And
also
of course, the old Abeokuta Road.
Right, you can make use of Old Abeokuta also if you're heading out of Lagos. And then Ekpe to Ijebu-Ode will also be another alternative as well. So please take note of all those points. And we'll continue to reiterate that even during the course of Maritime today.
All right, Lagos. Coming up next is Maritime Today with Victor Oteri.
As an oil-producing and exporting country, Nigeria is a large market for foreign goods owing to its population. In this regard, the maritime industry holds the key to the nation's growth and development. For the latest news on the maritime industry, tune in to Maritime Today on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, a program designed to showcase the opportunities and challenges in the Nigerian maritime sector. Why don't you join us on Wednesdays at 9:15 a.m. and Saturdays at 10:15 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM as we highlight the development and new regulations put in place to address the problems of the maritime industry. Wednesdays 9:15 a.m. and Saturdays 10:15 a.m. Maritime Today is brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council.
Thank God for the gift of life as we travel along Destiny's Highway. This is the first week in the month of April, the fourth month of the year, and it is slowly but surely inching closer and closer and moving up as things unfold. We're here tracking things minute by minute, and I can tell you the morning rush is picking up gradually as we're having that entanglement around the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, but we're here to track it minute by minute and ensure that you arrive alive, safe and sound at your destination. You're welcome to Maritime Today, your twice weekly adventure through the maritime space. Wednesdays 9:15 and Saturdays 10:15. Your station of attraction and passion comes alive with the latest gist in the maritime domain, bringing you views and policies from regulators and as well as stakeholders as we seek improvement of this particular sector. It's nice to have you join us. My name is Victor Oteri. All right, then Maritime Today is proudly sponsored by the Nigerian Shippers Council, a vibrant agency under the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. And we're here this day for another excursion through the world of the maritime domain. So today, we're going to be touching down on some things that are happening across the globe Yes, it's the era of tariffs and tariffs and tariffs. And so we'll be looking at how Nigeria will be handling all of this in a global shifting trade landscape. So we'll be speaking with someone who has been there for several years. He's an economist of repute. We'll be connecting with him during the course of the program. We'll also be serving you the latest news in the maritime world and, of course, lots and lots of traffic updates as well. We'll do that after this short break when we return.
Nigerian shippers cancel day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you. Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily lane. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime today is the program, and of course we set for the conversation this beautiful Saturday. But let's let you know that those of you just tuning in, there was a fatal crash involving a commercial bus and I'm talking about two articulated vehicles in front of Nipco gas station, and that is opposite MFM Prayer City, outbound Lagos. That's if you're heading inwards Ibadan. Well, we can tell you that is leading some build-up already, and the emergency responders are there. So what we're saying right now is for those of you who are still in Lagos, if you're yet to connect towards that axis, please make use of alternatives, all right? Ikorodu is a suitable alternative. From there, you can connect Shagamu and proceed on your journey. Also, Old Abeokuta Road, you can also make use of that corridor, connect with Songo, proceeding towards Ota and, of course, to Abeokuta. And then you can also make use of Ekpe corridor to link up with Ijebu-Ode, and you can continue. Rescue and emergency efforts still very much ongoing by Trace, FRAC, Fire Service, and the police within that particular corridor. Meanwhile, other areas are still looking very cool and calm, and we're tracking things minute by minute. But right now, let's switch gears. Let's bring you the latest news, and Mark James will do that in less than 5 minutes.
Maritime news. The Nigeria Customs Service, in collaboration with the World Customs Organization and Price Waterhouse Coopers, have commenced an on-site customs integrity perception survey. The survey, which began on Friday, April 4, 2025 at the Tinkan Island Port Command, aims to promote transparency and accountability within the service. According to the Public Relations Officer at Tinkan Island Command, Oscar Ivara, the survey will evaluate ethical conduct, transparency, and accountability, identifying potential challenges that may hinder customs operations' effectiveness. This initiative will collect valuable feedback to support ongoing improvement in customs procedures and foster stakeholder trust. And from the transformative world of the customs, let's switch to the distributed directive of electioneering from Maritime Workers Union. The Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria has directed its members, particularly those seeking elective positions, to cease all forms of electioneering at work locations and union secretaries across the country. The union has imposed a ban on campaign-related activities, including displaying banners within quay aprons, port terminals, oil and gas platforms, on-board vessels, office spaces, and all other work premises. In a statement signed by the Acting Secretary General of MWUN, Onia Ezara, the union emphasized that while it fully acknowledges every member's rights to contest in union elections, it is imperative to maintain order and discipline throughout the process. Any member violating this directive will face disciplinary action from the union's leadership. And finally, in the news, an oil spill has been confirmed by the Johor Port Authority near the eastern Johor Strait off the coast of Pulau Ubin, Malaysia. The authority has contained the source of the leak and cleanup operations are in progress. The Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore has been notified and precautionary measures are being implemented to minimize environmental impact. The National Environment Agency has issued an advisory urging the public to avoid swimming or contact with the waters at Changi Beach and Pasir Ris Beach until further notice. Drones and satellite imagery are being used to monitor the situation, and containment booms will be deployed near the Czech Jawa wetlands to safeguard the ecologically sensitive area. And that was the maritime news. Over to Victor Oteri for the rest of the show.
Nigerian shippers cancel day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you. Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council they feel in a parole now for every level, and as soon as goods they move from port A go enter port B with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Nanir.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency, and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Dear listener, when going on interstate travel, please note the following security tips. Don't leave too early and don't be caught in the late hours. If possible, try and do away with titles on your phone book. While driving, focus on the road and ensure that every 5 to 7 minutes there is traffic on the returning lane. Do not exceed 100 kilometers per hour. This will help for timely judgment and to look out for traps and to appreciate the terrain. Don't use tinted sheets on your car. It passes a message to bandits and criminal elements that you are a uniformed man or woman. Always have a spare tire, plug, and fuel pumps in your car. Don't ignore this. Even if you're not the one driving, put your phone away and keep your eyes on the road. Moving in a convoy has proven not to intimidate criminal elements. If you must stop to buy food or ease yourself, take that break at a town or village. This is not the time to join a car or bus from undesignated bus stops, popularly called Sole. Get to the garage to do same, and please do well to fill that bus manifest correctly. It is for your own good. Lastly, do endeavor to update your in case of emergency eyes contacts before you embark on any journey, and if possible, have your health columns properly filled because medical personnel may need some information before relatives turn up. These are safety tips that will help tremendously. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Moving Lagos forward.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're still tracking activities on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. We did tell you that there was a fatal crash earlier on, and so slow movement from Oteri towards Mountain Top due to that multiple accident. But coming into Lagos, which was looking pretty good earlier on, is now a very slow one. I understand people are driving against the flow of traffic. I wouldn't know if that's part of the control by the traffic managers there to try and see how they can ease the gridlock that we had earlier on. So take note of that. Those of you within that stretch, we have that trace alert also stating that if you're still in Lagos, you can make use of the Ekpe corridor, you can make use of the Ikorodu corridor, and you can also make use of Old Abeokuta Expressway. So we're tracking that minute by minute. As things unfold, we'll be letting you in on that as well. All right, then, so on Maritime today, we are assessing Nigeria's economic development in a shifting global trade landscape. There's a whole lot of things happening in the trading world, and we just need to touch base on that within the short period that we have on the program. Dr. Muda Yusuf is an economist of repute, former Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and currently he's the CEO, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE. Dr. Yusuf, nice to have you on the phone. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. Perhaps the most convenient reference point to begin this conversation this morning is Wednesday's Liberation Day announcement by President Trump imposing reciprocal tariffs on nations with unfair trading practices to America, he says. So, were you surprised at the announcement on Wednesday?
I wasn't surprised at the announcement, but I was surprised at the rate and the kind of unusual computation of tariff that President Trump came up with. Those rates were outrageous. They were really very, very outrageous. And there are no basis for that kind of tariff imposition.
Right.
And what the President Trump was saying, existing tariffs, those things were not correct. It was a very, very unusual kind of computation of tariffs.
Right. Now, he mentioned a lot of countries on that day, and he said most of them were ripping off American businesses. And in imposing these tariffs, he has said, well, those that are ready to bring their things to America to manufacture, they might be exempted and all of that. Like you said, does that mean the president was ill-advised?
The president is not seeking advice from anybody. He's not talking to economics. He doesn't believe in economic advice. He just believes in his own understanding of economics, which is completely upside down. That is it. What he wants to do is to bring manufacturing back to America, but this is going to worsen the condition of Americans. Look at what has happened to stock markets in America.
Right.
They lost $6 trillion
within the past 24 hours. Right, that's very correct.
Yes, $6 trillion. Just the beginning of a crisis, both for America and for the world.
Right.
But America will suffer more in this.
Okay, so the secretary yesterday was talking about the fact that this is just the beginning, that things will adjust. Americans shouldn't be threatened by this and all of that. But from your own perspective, Dr. Yusuf, what impact would it have on global trade?
No, it is going to disrupt global trade. It's going to increase, generally, even on global economy. We're likely to see a slowdown in global economy. It's going to disrupt supply chains all over the world. And it's going to slow down the global economy. So we are likely to see almost a global recession the way things are going. Because it's a major disruption across the whole world.
Right.
A major disruption.
And some countries are already taking retaliatory steps on this announcement. China yesterday equally imposed a 37% tariffs on American imports. Some other countries watching on the sideline, Australia and others. So will this not lead to a global trade war?
No, it has already started. What we are seeing already is global trade war. Because if major economies are engaged in this kind of tariff war, it's as good as a global trade war. I'm only hoping that the U.S. Congress will put partisanship aside and rein in on this situation before it gets worse than what it is. Because that's the only saving grace now.
Right.
They cannot afford to leave President Trump to be going this way. Otherwise, it will scatter everything.
And in matters of this nature, Dr. Muda Yusuf, what roles do you think bodies like the World Trade Organization, the World Bank, and even IMF, what roles can they play?
The current president of here doesn't respect any global institution. He doesn't listen to anybody. He doesn't respect them. You know, he has even stopped funding country subscription to WTO. So he doesn't even believe in WTO. The only body that can rein in on this is the U.S. Congress. If the Republicans will agree that they are on a wrong course, they work with the Democrats, they can prevail on him to review all this situation. That is the only way out. All this IMF, World Bank, WTO, the UN, Trump doesn't respect any of them. So he won't listen to them.
All right. Let's talk about Nigeria now, Dr. Muja Yusuf. Let's bring it home. What would be the impact of this? Because I hear 10% is the tariffs that have been imposed on other nations, which includes Nigeria. How would that affect us?
Well, directly, the impact on us may not be very significant. You know, he imposed 14% on Nigeria.
Okay.
And if you look at our trade data, most of our export, 90% of our exports, is oil and gas, fertilizer and oil and gas, crude oil and natural gas. And from what I have read, because of the impact of energy costs on the U.S. economy, he has exempted energy products. And our own export is largely energy products. So the impact on us may not be directly significant. And again, if you look at our total trade in terms of exports, only about 10 or 8% of our export is directly to the U.S. And most of it is energy.
Right.
So the direct impact may not be too much. The only way it will affect us is first, all the investors who are importing from U.S., the cost of their import will go up. So they have to look for other areas where they can be importing from.
Right.
Secondly, if it disrupts the global economy, if there's a recession in the global economy, that will also affect us. Okay. Because oil price is already crashing as a result of this. That means that our foreign exchange will go down. That means our foreign reserves will be affected. So those are the ways it can affect us.
All right. Okay then. So in all of this, when there is an adversity, there's always room for some kind of opportunities for one to look inward. So what opportunities does this prevail, or what does it portend for the Nigerian economy?
The opportunities is that with the way the U.S. is waging war against all the major partners, all these other countries will be looking for new partners for trade, so we can take advantage of it. Because if they are having issues with the U.S., then they may be looking for new partners. So Nigeria can position itself, or investor can take advantage of it. Things are getting more expensive in the U.S. and all of that. So we can take advantage of it,
right,
to develop new partnerships with Europe, with Asia, and the rest of them.
And I'm just thinking, I mean, America is our biggest trade partner. When you talk about this energy, the oil and gas, which you mentioned, which other countries might likely need our oil and gas? I mean, Russia has its own oil and gas they export. Which other countries can we look up?
No, we export. In fact, Europe is our biggest trading partner. Europe.
Okay.
You know, so you have Netherlands, you have France, you have Spain, you have India, and the rest of them. So in Asia and Europe, and even in Africa, we are talking about African Continental Free Trade Area. We can also look within our continent.
Right.
So there are enough trading blocks to relate with outside of the United States.
Okay, then. I'm just going to hold you on a bit. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on the program, we are assessing Nigeria's economic development in a shifting global trade landscape. We're going to take a short break. Do not forget, we have a crash on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Some of you are stuck in the gridlock on that particular expressway. But I understand Trace, FRSC, the fire service, they are doing all that they can to also help out. And those coming into Lagos are having it slow right now as a result of counterflow, which is on there within that particular line. The accident happened at MFM, just opposite Nipco Gas, involving 2 articulated vehicles and a commercial bus. All right, the fatalities have been taken to the morgue, and I understand those that are injured have also been rushed to the hospital. A brief break. When we return, Dr. Muda Yusuf talked about AFTA, that's the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Well, that is also an aspect that Nigeria can take advantage of, but with ECOWAS and the challenges that they have, what are the challenges, or perhaps what are the opportunities and prospects of Nigeria really building up its economy through AFTA participation? We'll be back after this break.
Nigerian shippers cancel day to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you. Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B with a measure within on a needle. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting for the port of Nanid.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is the program, and I still have with me Dr. Muda Yusuf, an economist of repute and the CEO of the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise. I have a caller on the line who wants to join the conversation. Hello there, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Chris from Agege.
Chris, how are you doing?
I'm very good.
Talk to me.
From Agege.
Yeah, from Agege, go ahead.
I want to ask Dr. Yusuf, what policies would you suggest that will improve Nigeria's ease of doing business?
What policies
Will you suggest
that the
government takes that will increase the ease of doing business in Nigeria?
Okay, all right. Very big question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Yusuf.
Yeah, I didn't hear the question well.
Okay, so he's saying, what policies would you suggest that the government can introduce to to improve the ease of doing business in Nigeria?
There are so many things. So first is our infrastructure. The cost of infrastructure is very high. Power, road, our ports, and so on. The infrastructure environment is very critical to make it easier for people to do business. The second is financing. The cost of financing is too high for businesses. 30% and above is too high. So that's also a major issue. Then there's also the regulatory environment. Some of our regulatory institutions put undue pressure on our businesses. They harass them for levies, for taxes, and all of that. Then problem at our ports. Moving goods in and out of the ports can also be a nightmare sometimes.
Right.
So those are some of the things I think the government
can work on. All right, so before we went on that break, you were talking about AFTA, and Nigeria has not really benefited much from participating in AFTA. I mean, we came in so late. So what opportunities do we still have, considering the fact that countries like Mali, like Niger, and Burkina Faso has just, withdrawn from ECOWAS?
Well, opportunities are there, although the AFTA is not gaining momentum as fast as it should because of all sorts of barriers, especially non-tariff barriers, bureaucracy, and political will. But I think we are making progress slowly. There's what we call guided trade initiative. Some trading has already taken place. like pilot programs between Nigeria and some African countries. The Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso that are exiting ECOWAS, well, that is unfortunate, but if you put their economies together, they are not so big in terms of size when you look at the size of their GDP. So their living is not going to have any serious material impact given the size of their economies.
Right. So we should not fret. We should not fret over their living.
No. They are not that significant in terms of their size. Right. They are important in terms of security. I must admit that. But in terms of size of the economy, they are not so significant.
Okay, so I do not know. Over the week, earlier in the week, we heard that those three countries were trying to impose 0.5% tariffs on imports from Nigeria and other West African countries. That would be significant in terms of affecting trade?
No, not at all. What they are doing, currently, any imports coming from outside ECOWAS, we charge 0.5%. All ECOWAS countries, we charge 0.5%.
Okay.
It's ECOWAS levy. Now that they have left, they also want to continue to benefit from that 0.5%. So that is why they have also carved out their own sub-region or trading bloc.
Right.
And now say that anything that is also coming to their country must attract 0.5%.
All right. Let's take some calls.
That is what they have done.
And reactions as well. 09153877127. How should Nigeria handle this global shift in trading landscape? That's what we're focusing on. This one here says, good morning, Traffic Radio. And Dr. Yusuf, how can Nigeria attract more foreign direct investment, FDI, in a shifting global economy? If you are in, is sending this one in from what you do?
Well, it's to create the right environment. Now that Trump has imposed heavy tariffs on EU, on Asia, on China, it is easier now to export from Nigeria to US than to export from China or from EU. The tariff he has given us is just 14%. The tariff on China, on EU is over 20%. Some of them 30-something percent.
China is 37%.
So, so it's an opportunity for us to take advantage of that gap and export from here to the United States. Other investors can also come in here, set up, and also export from here.
All right. So we can benefit from all of this. Is that what it means?
Of course. We can benefit from it.
This one says, happy weekend. In terms of global trade, which sectors of Nigeria's economy have the most potential for growth? You didn't put your name. Thank you so much for that question. So, in terms of that, Dr. Yusuf, which sector?
The sector that we have great advantage in now is still oil and gas. That's refined petroleum products, gas, and fertilizer. Those are the things that we have very good advantage of right now. And you can see that even Dangote has been exporting jet fuel to US, to Saudi Arabia, and all of that. He has been exporting diesel. He has been exporting even PMS to some part of Africa. So our strength is actually, for now, is actually in oil and gas and related products like fertilizer and petrochemical products.
Okay.
That is where our strength is for now.
All right. This one says, this is an interesting topic. Doctor, how do you think Nigeria should adapt to the rise of digital trade and e-commerce globally? Frank is sending that one in. Frank, thank you so much.
No, we are doing well in terms of digital economy. Our young people are doing a lot, and the government is also prioritizing the development of skills, digital skills. Quite a number of our young people that are abroad are in the ICT space. Many of them are also working from Nigeria and working for countries outside the country.
Right.
So it's a developing area, and a lot of progress is being made.
All right, this one says, good morning, Victor. What are the major structural reforms needed to accelerate Nigeria's economic development? Sheyi Ojo is sending that one. Sheyi, thank you so much.
No, we need to reform our energy sector. We need to ensure that we have proper electricity. We need to ensure that we improve on our connectivity within the country. And that's of rail development, road road sector development. We need to improve our ports and the processes in the ports. We need to also ensure that our regulatory agencies are more investment friendly. We need to create the right kind of financial infrastructure to make sure that we have financing costs that is more investment friendly. Those are some of the things that we need to do.
All right. So in terms of regional integration, what do you think Nigeria should do?
Well, Nigeria should engage with other countries within the region to ensure that we remove non-tariff barriers, because there are too many violations of ECOWAS protocols, too many violations, both by Nigeria, by Benin, by Togo, by all of them. A lot of violations. So we need to get all the countries in the sub-region to commit more to the implementation of the ECOWAS protocol.
All right. And as we round up the program this morning, this is April, Dr. Muda Yusuf. This global wind of tariffs that has been imposed on different countries across the world, how soon do you think this will end, and what kind of resolutions do you think should come to play?
Well, the only resolution is if you can get Trump to reverse this position. If he doesn't reverse it, then, for the rest of the year, I don't think we can have a stable global economy. We're likely to see a major contraction, and this will affect practically all countries of the world.
Right. Anyway, we'll be watching and be on the sidelines too. So let me say a very big thank you to you for connecting with us this morning, Dr. Muda Yusuf.
Thank you.
Okay then, so we've been assessing Nigeria's economic development in a shifting global trade landscape, and Dr. Muda Yusuf, an economist of repute, former DG, Director General, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and the CEO Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, has been taking us to the classroom this morning. We have to go. Mike James has produced the program. Maximum shout out going out to Dayo Anthony. In the studios this morning, Favor Dumibi and Olorun Toba Temitokwe. I say a big thank you to our social media team, Okwe Mushedunke and Remy Aluko. All right, our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. Let me appreciate Rebecca Adamu, who's Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council. You can connect with them on all their platforms at NG Shippers. Well, I would just want to say have a splendid weekend. My name is Victor Oteri. I'm out, still very much within. Bye.